everyone, welcome back. My name is Jessica if you're new here. If you like home decor and DIYs on a budget, make sure to stick around by hitting the subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications so you never miss out on a new video. Today I'm participating in the Look for Less challenge, which is hosted by Yami from the Latina Next Door. She is amazing. She can DIY or make over a room on a budget, and everything always looks so beautiful. So make sure to check out her channel. The link is down below in my description box. Also, don't forget to check out everybody else who participated in this challenge and see their looks for less. The link for that is down below in the description box as well. Now for my look for less today, I'm going to be making some Halloween home decor that's inspired by 3 pieces from Kirkland's. So let's get started. For this first look for less, I am going to be making this Spiderweb 3-tier rack for $39.99 from Kirkland's. So I took 3 of these Spiderweb baskets from Dollar Tree. Each of them are $1 a piece. And I had a plunger from Dollar Tree also already in my craft stash. I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to start off first by flipping the basket over, and I'm going to take my wood burning tool so that way I can make holes in each of my baskets in the center. So I just used my wood burning tool in that round tip, and I pressed on the center of the basket while it was upside down to make my holes. You want to be careful with the wood burning tool because it is very hot, and you don't want to touch the plastic right afterwards because it is very hot as well. So that's why I'm using pliers to get the excess plastic off. Now, once my holes are burned into my spiderweb bowls, I'm just going to go ahead and insert them onto the handle of the plunger. So I just placed them through the hole, and I put one down all the way at the bottom, and I used a little hot glue to secure it to the plunger. Then the second one, I put it about halfway onto the handle, and I used a little bit of hot glue to secure it down in the middle. And then the last one, I just inserted the handle just a little bit through the hole and used a little bit of hot glue inside the basket and on the bottom of the basket. Of course, this is going to hold a lot because it's just held with hot glue, but you could use E6000 and it might hold a little bit more. Now I needed something to weigh the bottom down, and I should have did this in the beginning, but I didn't think about it. So I went ahead and I took the plunger and I used that to make a circle in some cardboard and cut that out. And then I'm going to take those rocks from Dollar Tree and I'm going to put them inside the plunger, and then I hot glued that piece of cardboard to the bottom of the plunger to hold the rocks in. And this is just going to make it more sturdy and stable while it's standing up. And then I'm going to take this spray paint, which I got from Walmart, and I'm just going to spray paint the whole thing. And while it dries, I'm going to take these 2 spiders from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use a little bit of gray acrylic paint to paint the body of each spider to get rid of the sparkles, so that way they kind of look a little bit more like the Kirkland's original 3-tier baskets. So once everything is dry, I'm just going to go ahead and take one of the spiders and I'm going to attach some twine to the back of it with some hot glue, so that way it can hang like the original, and then I'm just going to tie it on to the basket. And then I just placed the other one inside the basket like the original had, and that was it. I think this turned out really cute. I did put a list of all of the supplies that I used. I didn't purchase some of them, but I put everything on there, excluding hot glue and the wood burning tool and things like that, so that way you can get an idea of how much it would cost if you needed paint and everything else. For this next look for less, I'm going to be making this white stacked lighted jack-o'-lantern pumpkin that is $39.99 from Kirkland's. Now, I picked up a couple weeks ago from Five Below this set of stacked pumpkins for $5. They're hollow on the inside. They just click and lock into place to stack them, and they're 24 inches high, so they're going to work perfect for this DIY. And like I said, said, they were only $5. So I started off by drawing out the faces onto each pumpkin. I used a chalk marker so that way I could erase as I was going to draw out the faces, because I'm not great at drawing pumpkin faces or jack-o'-lantern faces. So I tried to use the Kirkland's pumpkins for reference, so I had that up on my computer while I was drawing out these pumpkins. It didn't really work that great because the pumpkins were a little bit different of sizes, so I kind of had to improvise and make my own faces. So they don't look exactly the same, but they're similar. With this white pumpkin, I was able to use the chalk marker to draw on it. I could only see it. You can't really see it here in the video. I did go back over it with Sharpie, just so that way you could see it later on in the video when I'm cutting it out. But I could see it fine, so I got it to the way I liked it, and then I went back over it with a permanent marker. Now, to cut the faces out on my jack-o'-lanterns, I used my wood burning tool. I just changed the tip to something a little more slender to trace around the lines that I drew. Now, this wood burning tool did come with an X-Acto knife tip. Unfortunately, I broke it a long time ago, so I couldn't use it for this project. But this tip worked okay. It did leave some jagged edges, unfortunately. So I do think the X-Acto knife tip would have worked better. It would have been more of a cleaner cut, but this worked fine. And you could also use just a regular X-Acto knife that's not heated and cut out your face because this plastic is really thin, so it would cut through easily. You would just have to be really careful making sure you don't cut yourself, and you have to be really careful with this wood burning tool as well, because like I said in the previous DIY, it's really, really, really hot, and especially with this plastic. I went ahead and changed my tip out to the round one I used in the last project, and I'm gonna burn a hole in the bottom pumpkin and the middle pumpkin to feed my lights through. Now I'm gonna paint everything with this linen white chalked paint. I would just use regular white paint from Walmart, the white spray paint from Walmart. The chalk paint, it took a long time for it to dry, and it would be cheaper to use the regular white paint from Walmart. But anyways, then once those pumpkins were dry, I came back and painted the stem of the top one with gold acrylic paint. And now I'm going to feed the lights through the pumpkins, and I'm using these plug-in lights that come from Dollar Tree. You can get them around Christmas time. I got these last year, but I know Dollar Tree's putting out all of their Christmas supplies now, so you can probably pick them up. I weaved the lights through, which worked out great, except for the fact that I didn't like the green wire. So off camera, I took everything out and I taped the bulbs on the lights, and I went back and spray painted them, and then I weaved them back through, and it looks so much better like that. It really, I think, turned out great. It's not exactly like the Kirkland's one, but it came out really good for a lot less. And like I said, it could be even a lot less if you used the regular white paint from Walmart instead of the chalk paint. For the last look for less, I am going to be making one of these Hey Boo Halloween porch signs for $69.99. So I had this 1 by 8 inch by 6 foot board already in my garage, and I had stained it previously, but I'm just going to use some black paint that I already had, and I'm going to go ahead and give the whole thing a coat of black paint. And then once it's dry, I'm just gonna attach my lettering that I printed off on my Cricut with just some white permanent vinyl, and that's it for this DIY. It was super simple. I actually had everything for this, so it didn't cost me anything, but I will break it down here in a minute for you guys, and you'll see if you had to purchase everything for this, that it is still a lot less than the Kirkland's. And if you don't don't have a Cricut to print out your lettering, you could freehand this, or even if you hopped on Amazon and bought some stencils for this, it would still be super cost effective. Now, after I put my lettering on, my letters were not as big as the Kirkland's ones, so my sign had a gap between the last O and the end of the sign. So I just went ahead and added a little ghost that I printed off on my Cricut, and it looks super cute. I'll leave the fonts that I used for the Boo and the Hey down below in my description box if you do have a Cricut and you want to print these out. But I think it turned out really cute, and it's perfect for Halloween, and again, cost a lot less than the original. Thank you so much for watching today. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out the playlist and Yami's channel, which is all linked down below in the description box. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.